I hope your day is full of daffodils and daisies and roses and tulips and I'm out of flowers. Straight up out of flowers. Baby's breath. I don't like that there's a flower that's called baby's breath. I feel like that's weird. It's giving. Is it okay that I said this be close in the beginning of the intro? Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, why are we naming a plant after the breath of a child? That's weird. I hope your day is full of eucalyptus. And that's it, dude. It's floral. It's floral. We love flowers here on SHENK. We have an amazing episode of SHENK for you this week with the one, the only Charlotte McKinney. But before we get into this week's episode of SHENK with Charlotte McKinney, I just want to tell you about a few things. One, I am in Austin, Texas right now. I will be performing at Mothership this week. I will be posting where I'm performing and the dates on my Instagram at Princess Shank. I am coming to Phoenix, Arizona at the Desert Ridge Improv. I will be there March 27th. And then the 28th and 29th of March, I will be in Chicago at the Comedy Bar for 4 shows. So if you're in Chicago, come out, support live comedy. I'd love to meet you guys. Then I will be in Nova Scotia, Canada, April 11th, April 12th, and April 13th at LOL Fest. You can find more info about that also on my Instagram or my link tree on Instagram at Princess Shank. And then I will be in Oxnard. I will be in Brea, and I will be in San Diego May 14th, 15th, 16th. All of those shows with Kim Congdon. Get tickets. All on my Instagram at Princess Shank, and then bonus content and vlogs on my Patreon, patreon.com/Sara Weinshenk. And let's do it. Let's get into this week's episode of SHENK with Charlotte. Here it is, guys. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of SHENK. I'm Sara Weinshenk, and today's guest is the one, the only Charlotte McKinney.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you. I don't know that much about you. I do know that you were on Joe Dirt too.
Okay.
You were in it.
Yes.
I know that you were in it because my ex-boyfriend was in it, Adam Egget.
Oh my God! Wait, you dated Adam?
Yeah,
Egget?
I love
Adam
for like 5 years. Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. So I went to the premiere of Joe Dirt too.
So we've met.
We probably met in passing.
We definitely have met. That's so funny. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. So
shout out to Adam. Do you guys still talk? Or?
Yeah, we're really good friends.
Oh, that makes you so. He's just a good, like, all around great dude.
Yeah, he's the best.
So
and Spade's great too.
Yes,
they're both great.
Yeah, so funny. It's small world.
I know. So you started stand up?
Yeah. So I got into stand up about 3 years ago.
How do you like it?
I like it. It's funny. I go through waves because I act too, and I'll be doing other stuff, and then I'm like hone in on this or that. But funny enough, I started because of David Spade's show Lights Out.
Oh yeah,
they shot it here, and they like put the thing in my ear.
I remember that.
Him and Whitney Cummings, and then I was like, shit, like I really like that. I've always done comedy films, and I've always been, doing all that, and then I was like, fuck, like I kind of dig this.
Yeah,
and so. Yeah, so now I'm doing it. I took a little time off with some stuff, and now I'm like back hitting it hard, and I couldn't be happier. I love it. Cool. And how long have you been doing it?
I've been doing it since 2010.
Okay.
So that's 15 years. Dude, I just did the math on that.
Wow. And you look like a baby, Sara.
Oh, that's because I have Botox in my head.
Well, I think you started as a baby.
Well, I started as a baby, yeah.
How old were you when you started? Or you don't have to answer that question.
No, I was like, how old was I in 2010?
That's got to be like 20, 21?
What? I was probably like 21, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. And you're from here and you started here.
I'm from here and I started here, yeah.
Oh
it's
God.
Pretty hard to start in LA, I've noticed. But, I mean, I don't know. You have to really love it. But it seems like you really like it.
It's interesting because it's like, I think if you can do it here, you can do it. I've only really done it here.
Yeah.
I don't really tour yet. So it's like, I'm just doing like, you're doing like the hardest, rooms with like judgy LA people. So like when you go to like, I'm from Florida, you go there or something and you're like, oh, like the crowd's actually like horny for comedy instead of like judgmental, like assholes.
They're so judgmental here.
Yeah.
I did a show on Abbott Kinney and they were the
Wait, stop. What was it? Was it in like a backyard?
Yeah, in like a back bar at Roosterfish.
Worst show
I've
of
ever
my
done.
entire life.
I've ever done.
No shame to Rooster
Fish.
No
shame to the people putting on the show.
No shame to the fish show.
No, but
I literally was at that show and I just came to a point where I just started like ripping the audience.
I did that
they were
too.
Such assholes. I was like, you guys all fucking suck.
I was like, you guys all suck. I don't know what you're into. It feels like you all come for money. Feels like you're all into photography.
Oh.
And I don't like the energy that you're putting out right now.
Exactly.
And also, it was like, there was no real stage and there was a pole like in the middle of the thing. So I kept being like,
awkward.
I love having to stand behind a pole while doing stand-up.
Yeah, it brought me back to my old days.
No, I didn't even know I could still have a set like that.
No,
it was very humbling. And then I went home and I was like, I questioned my life completely.
If you want to be humbled as a comedian, go try doing sets in Venice because everyone's so far up their own ass.
So far up their own ass.
And it's like, why are you even coming to a comedy show then?
I don't think they wanted to have fun at all.
At all.
I started yelling at them too. I think I called like one lady a bitch, and then I just became a little bit unhinged during the show. And then
that's all you can do. I just started yelling at this guy for looking like a douchebag, and
they all look like douchebags.
So that's all you could really do. But like normally, if you call out people or like things like that, they get into it. They're like "fuck you" kind of mentality.
Yeah, it was weird, and there was a lot of them too.
Yeah, the whole crowd.
The whole crowd was. One guy was worse than the next guy. So you're from Florida.
Yeah.
How long have you been in LA?
So I came out here pretty young, like at 19. So I think I've been out here like 13. I can't do any math. But like 13 years.
Okay, cool.
So I've put my time in.
Yeah, you have put your time in. So wait, were you the Carl's Jr. model?
Yeah, so that's kind of how I got my foot in the door and how I kind of started. But I did that Super Bowl commercial, and then that kind of helped me, grow and do stuff. I was like, I modeled, but I used model to like get into, oh Jesus, I can't get away from this shit.
You can't get away from it?
Never.
No, but that's pretty cool though. Did you have to go to the audition and do that at the audition? Eat a burger?
Surprisingly, this was my first gig that I didn't have to audition for.
They just booked you.
They just booked me. It was so weird, and my whole life has been an audition. So, yeah, so crazy.
Yeah, so are you single right now or dating?
I was in a 7-year relationship.
Oh shit, dude.
And I just got it's been like almost a year, but yeah, I was in a long thing, and I'm dating, I'm having fun, but it's nice. I'm just a single person, and like I like to do shit on my own. Even when I was with someone for 7 years, I lived by myself. Like
yeah,
no, it may be a problem, but.
No, I think that's good.
Yeah, I dig it. And you said you have a boyfriend?
I have a boyfriend now, yeah.
Okay.
But I was single for a really long time. Or I would be in relationships and out of relationships. Yeah. And dating in LA is hard.
It's pretty brutal.
Have you had any like super bad dates?
I think for me, like I go into them like with no expectations. Like when I first got back on the market, I didn't want to date at all, and I would just get fucked up. Like I would like the first date I went on after my relationship, I just like ate a bag of mushrooms and was just like, oh, let's just go meet some dude, and then I'm like sitting, So it's like I kind of just joke at this point. It's just funny to me. Like, it's
you
so
can't
horrible.
take it seriously.
If you take it seriously, you cry every day.
Are you on Raya?
No.
Okay. Well,
no.
You don't want to go on there.
My friends put me on it like the second I got single, and then I was just like, fuck, like, I don't have time. Like, I can't.
I met a lot of guys in big hats.
A lot of fedoras.
A lot of
like private plane like photos.
A lot of private plane photos. One time I met this guy in Raya. He took me to a Chainsmokers concert.
Stop.
And it was so intense. There's fire coming out of the ground. And
if the first date is Chainsmokers, red flag.
Red flag for sure. Yeah. So
how long were you single?
I dated Adam for 5 years. And
Okay.
then I had
That's a long time.
yeah. And then I was single for a long time after that.
Okay.
And
But the thing is, you like, you know, I could be in a relationship, but it's like you want that time after a relationship to like kind of find yourself.
yeah, I mean, I've literally tasted the rainbow. I don't know if that sounds really slutty, right? It's a Skittles slogan, but saying that you tasted
Dude, you gotta taste it.
You gotta taste it, dude.
There's
because
so many tastes.
There's
you
so
gotta
many
taste.
flavors. Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah. And so yeah, I definitely have dated a lot. And I would like to not have to do that again. But
Yeah.
it is character building.
It is. It's that's what it's all about. And like I think early on, like when I was younger, I had so much fun like running around town and being like a little whore. And like
Yeah.
you get to do it again. You're like, oh shit, this is kind of fun.
It is fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Skanking it up.
Yeah, it is fun skanking it up.
You know, but no, yeah, I think for me it's like I'm just trying to focus on like rebuilding myself. But yeah, like I think right now I'm just in this like trying to find that self-love, that self-care, which I have none of it.
You don't?
Yeah, growing up like as, you know, young and modeling, it's like you hate yourself and you know.
It's so fucked up though.
It's so fucked.
It's so fucked up how so many people who are beautiful just hate themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And like the
so much.
dysmorphia that's happening.
So I suffered with like really gnarly body dysmorphia for like 5 years. And like I'm back of just like, and I think that's like comedy really helped me like getting out of that kind of industry and like being around people who are just fucking awesome and like don't give a fuck.
I know, because when I started dating, my boyfriend is actually a model. And when
Shut up.
when we first started dating, he was like, yeah, there's so many girls in modeling that have eating disorders.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I fucking get it. But the good thing about stand-up is it's like if you gain 5 pounds, people are just like, oh, she's funnier now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know, if I look like shit on stage, it's almost better.
It is better.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like coming in today, I was like, oh, I'm like, look horrible, but I'm like, this is nice. I like to lean into
really
like
freeing.
It's really freeing. And like I've always kind of like dressed up for my shows, but I started kind of like going more relaxed and I'm like, I really enjoy this.
No, I know. Because then you feel more comfortable.
Yeah, my whole thing is kind of, you know, the whole look and this and that and like, you know, wearing a tight outfit. It's like, no. You don't need to do that. How do like as a woman in comedy, like do you think like how do you dress?
I go for a more cutesy approach.
Cutesy? Okay.
Yes. I for a while was obsessed with skirts, but I found like that was a little
skirts on stage is a toughie.
It's too distracting.
Yeah.
So now it's just like sometimes I'll do like a Peter Pan collar or like something with a bow. So it doesn't look like I'd fuck someone's boyfriend.
Yeah.
I feel like if they feel like you're gonna fuck their man, they instantly don't like you.
That's such a thing, you know. I'm like, come on, and you'll find I had a show the other day, and there's just a couple sitting there, and you could tell like if the boyfriend laughed, she'd be pissed.
Yeah.
Do you ever get those vibes?
Yeah.
I mean, you're a babe, so I'm sure like all the time, like people are just like, you laughed at our joke.
Yeah, like it feels like,
oh, okay, sorry.
Or yeah, like sometimes there's just like a bitchy woman in the audience, dude.
Totally.
There's a few.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I mean, yeah, so I don't know. I try to go for a more cutesy approach.
I like that.
I notice that like when I have like my boobs kind of even exposed, I don't get as many laughs.
Interesting.
Like I'll put a jacket on.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like that.
I tried to do something. Oh, this was wild, though. This was a bad call. I was like, I'm going to go on stage with my sunglasses because they were, there's like light blue tinted. And I thought that was going to be
cool.
I thought it was going to be cool. I thought I was like Mitch Hedberg. In my head, I was like, I am really pulling this off. I'm going for a look.
Full Mitch.
You
committed.
I committed.
Okay.
And the whole time.
Oh, let me see. This is the love of my life.
Yeah.
You went for this look.
I went for this look. It was a big mistake, though.
Oh, I love
because he was like on heroin. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
it worked.
It worked for him.
So why didn't it work for you?
Because I couldn't connect with the audience because the glasses were too dark. It was hard for me to make an actual connection with them because they couldn't see my eyes. And the whole time I was like, fuck, I can't take off the glasses in the middle of the set. Now I'm just fucking committed to wearing these.
You have to go full. You had to go full. Like you couldn't turn it into a bit of taking them off.
No, I just...
Yeah.
I felt like I had to commit to the look. Anytime I try a new look, I'm in my head. Like, one time I wore a beret, and I was like, this is too much. It's throwing people off. I feel like
Beret is a bold move.
beret is a bold move because you're
That's
coming
bold.
across as being like a cultured bitch.
Yes.
And you know what? People don't want a cultured bitch to make them laugh.
At
like,
all.
bitch, we're not in Paris. We're not in France. Like, you're at the Comedy Store. It's 11 o'clock at night.
Exactly.
Take off the beret.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
funny. I
But a
would.
baseball hat goes off.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
like, I'm just one of the guys.
I'm so cool. I'm so down to earth.
I'm just like you guys. Yeah. A baseball
We're
hat.
just like you. Like
Yeah.
stars are just like us.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
Yeah, baseball hats. I mean, imagine wearing like any type of other hat besides a baseball hat. I don't know. A
On
bucket
stage.
hat?
Or like a cowboy hat. I could rock one of those maybe in the
A
future.
cowboy hat.
Yeah.
You don't think you'd be in your head?
Probably the whole time.
Yeah.
Probably the whole
That's
time.
what I mean. Like, you have to really
Yeah.
come out committed to the hat.
Yeah. The hat kind of takes control of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
whole performance.
Yeah. So the beret was one of my boldest choices.
I
Have you
like
ever
that.
worn something on stage that you regretted?
Probably just something like a little skanky. Yeah. You
Yeah,
know?
but like some people pull it off. Like Nikki Glaser dresses like kind of sexy on stage, and
But she has the girls so well.
I know
I
the
think
girls
that's why she
like
can.
her.
The girls like her. Girls don't like me
Girls
yet.
don't like me either.
It's weird.
It is weird.
Until you get the girls, until you say those few things where you get the girls, then you can just be like, fuck it, tits on a platter. you
Yeah.
know, and rock it. But
Yeah.
until then, we gotta kind of lay low.
You gotta lay low. You know what I do like wearing on stage? A jumpsuit.
Really?
I'm like,
you
am
do-
I gonna work on am I
You're
gonna
a
work under
jumpsuit-
your car?
Okay.
I'm just a fun girl. I'm just like a guy.
I'm a fun girl.
Yeah.
I can do whatever you want. I'm fun.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I would die. I would look crazy in a jumpsuit.
Really?
I have too boxy of a body.
Really?
I need to show the shape a little, or I just look like a box.
A box?
Yeah.
I feel like you look cute in a jumpsuit.
I feel like a lot of female comedians wear the jumpsuit. It's kind of like the move.
It is the move.
I'm not cool enough for that yet.
No, you'll get there.
Yeah, I'll
no,
get there.
you'll get your jumpsuit, bitch.
And I'm assuming you're a regular at the store.
Yes, I'm a regular
So cool
at the
you
store.
have a podcast here. Like, how iconic. That's so rad.
Yeah, I started here.
Okay.
It's the first place I ever did stand up, and then
Wow, yeah.
I did.
Same. That's so
cool.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Because
It's
you were
pretty crazy to say that's the first place you got to do stand. Like,
I know, and it's so historical.
and how did that happen? Run me through that.
Well, I was in an acting class actually. I had this
Okay.
acting teacher who he made everyone write monologues, but he told me that he wanted me to write a stand-up set because he thought I was naturally funny and he wanted to see what my stand-up would be like.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it was just a regular scene study class. So I
Okay.
wrote a set and it went really well in that space. It was kind of weird doing stand-up in an acting class, but I did do it and it went over pretty well. And then I met some dude who was an extra. Okay, I was doing
Okay.
like extra work for extra cash in my 20s.
Extra.
And I met this dude who was literally probably the worst person I've ever met. Of course, he was a background actor
Love them.
on a Muppets. I think it was a Muppets movie.
Oh, wow.
It was a Muppets movie.
Love that.
And they were really intense about the Muppets on this movie. Like, they were yelling at us not to touch the puppets. I'm like, I'm not going to touch Miss Piggy. Like, that's not
Yeah.
what's happening.
Yeah.
They're like, just so you know, Miss Piggy's A-team. Nobody touches her. Don't even think about coming close to the Muppets. Crazy. Like, the lady who was working with the Muppets was the biggest bitch ever. Like, she was acting like Miss Piggy was Beyonce.
Yeah.
Okay, but during this time, I met some guy who was fucking insane, like an insane person, a bad person. He was the first person to say, come to the Comedy Store. I'm doing a show there. And it was like a bringer show where I had to bring like 10 people to perform. And I didn't know what was happening. And I grew up here. So I brought like 10 of my friends to this show that this extra from the Muppets introduced me
And
to.
was he a comedian?
He was trying to be a comedian, but then like we got into a fight and I'm pretty sure he called me a cunt and then I never talked to him again.
Later, loser.
It was weird. We went to Saddle Ranch. He got drunk. Something happened. I saw the dark side of the background actor that was this man. He called me a cunt. I never spoke to him again. I blocked him, and then I just, for some reason, kept coming to the Comedy Store. I would do like the bringer shows, and then I started doing open mics, and then I started on Kill, and then like 3 years into I started doing it like 3 years into stand up, and I realized, you shouldn't have to bring all your friends to the show. It's not really that's pretend, like it's not a real show. And then I started Kill Tony. I was a regular in Kill Tony.
How cool.
For like 2 years. I was one of the first regulars.
And how'd you like that time?
That was crazy because it really forced me to write, because every week I needed to do a new minute of stand-up. And it was being broadcasted to an audience. And there was like people on a panel being like, oh, you did that wrong, or you did this wrong.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that.
I feel like it was really good for me because it just forced me.
It forces you to just.
It's still like you had like a homework assignment. You know what I mean?
That's interesting. That's probably what made you so strong as a comedian, is just that, like,
the repetition and really just being like unafraid to try something new. Because once you know something works, it's really easy to get in the pattern of doing that same thing.
Of course.
So that's kind of how.
So you'd have to perform a minute.
A minute every week, because I was a regular with my best friend Kim Congdon. We were both regulars at the same time,
and that's sick.
And we became best friends from doing that.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Do you still do it here and there or no?
No, I don't really do it. I did it when for the Netflix fest at SoFi. They wanted me to do a minute, so I did a minute there, and that was cool. It was like an arena show, which hits different, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not really used to performing in that type of...
That's crazy.
Yeah, so...
Good for you.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I started. Shit. Yeah, and then, I got passed as a regular in 2023.
Okay.
So recently, like 2 years ago.
So when would you say, like, in this time... How long have you been doing stand-up where you felt, okay, I know myself. I feel like I'm still trying to figure out, like, when were you like, I got this. Like, this is my thing.
Okay, well, I would say 10 years in. I'm like, okay, I feel like I get it. And I'm comfortable. And I'm not really afraid. But then there's also been times where, like, it feels like the first time all over again. You know what I mean?
And
like that one show on Abbott Kinney, I was like, this shouldn't be this hard this late into the game, dude. And stand-up is hard. Like, and it's if you're not doing it regularly, like I just got back from Austin. I was in Austin for 5 weeks. There's a lot of stage time in Austin. So I like to go there often. So I was there for 5 weeks, and just being there 5 weeks and getting up like almost every night, my stand-up got so much better. So,
and that's the thing. I like this past year, I took like 6 months. I was dealing with some stuff, and then I had I was doing this movie, and I just I really took time off it. And going back felt like I was starting all over again.
Yeah, it'll feel like that.
So scary. You psych yourself. You're like, oh, why am I even think I can do this? And then you have one good show, and you're like, oh,
I know. Okay. Yeah. And then you're like, I'm not gonna kill myself.
Yeah,
I'm back.
I'm back. I'm not gonna jump off the bridge.
It's so crazy though, because there's even times like now where I'm like, did I make a mistake? Am I supposed to go back to school? And then I'm like, what would I go back to school for?
Yeah.
And then I start thinking about it, and I'm like, because I would really, if I went back to school, I would really, it would have to be for something. Like, I'm not going to go to school for cultural anthropology at 37 years old. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like,
You're 37?
Yeah.
Damn, you look younger than me.
I have Botox in my head. My mom's Puerto Rican.
Yeah, but maybe doesn't everyone? You look so young.
Thank you.
That's great.
Thank you. Yeah, wow. I'm 37.
I'm not buying it.
I am. I'm 37. These ovaries are drying up, sweetie.
No, but what you're saying is so true. I mean, it's such a hustle.
It's such a hustle, and there's good days and bad days, and then you're like, I feel like quitting, and then something awesome will happen, and then you're like, I guess I'm not quitting.
Yeah.
And
How many of those have you had? I feel like anyone I talk to, they have these times where they're just like, I'm never doing this again, and then
I have dark moments where I think, well, I could just get a regular job. And then I think about the things that I've said on the internet and think about the regular job that I would get. And I'm like, I don't think that they would want me to work at a regular job.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I could teach children after saying I've done acid and had anal on the internet.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't think that needs to be out there necessarily.
Yeah,
Like, are
totally.
people going to be able to separate the artist from the teacher? Like, in my head, I started because I like kids. So I'm like, okay,
yeah,
teacher,
that's cool.
I don't know. Or then I'm realizing that lawyers make a lot of money. So then I was like, well, what about a lawyer? And then
Yeah.
I'm not going to go take the bar. I'm not Elle Woods. I'm not Kim Kardashian. Like, I don't feel
Yeah.
And then I'm back in it, and I love it
Did
again.
you go to college?
Yeah, I went to college.
Okay. What'd you study?
Communications.
Very cool.
Yeah, I went to college. I had good grades in college. I thought that I would use my college degree more because this is something else that blows my mind. No one says, hey, can I see your college degree? You can
Ever.
lie.
Yeah.
You can fucking lie and say you went to Stanford. You don't have to show your diploma.
No.
So I'm like, why
yeah.
did I actually go?
Yeah, I mean, or you could be like me who dropped out of high school and doesn't have a GED.
You don't?
Nope. So like, who knows? Like how are you gonna find out I don't have a GED?
I mean, exactly.
I could say I went for these colleges and stuff like that, but like, yeah, who's asking nowadays?
So when did you drop out? How old were you?
I was in the junior, about to go senior, and I just go,
I'm done.
I knew I'd never graduate because I was in like 8th grade math. Like I could never.
Okay, I was also in 8th grade math in college.
That's what I mean. Like I knew
I had to take pre-algebra. I had to take pre-algebra in college, and I said, no,
Nothing's harder.
I said, I think I'm actually advanced, and I think I don't need to be in this class because the people who were in the class were actually like mentally handicapped and on like feeding tubes.
Yeah, those were all my classes.
And I was like, I don't think that I need to be in here. And they're like, okay, well, can you test out of it? And I was like, no. They're like, okay, so then yeah, you have to be in here. So I had to take in college pre-algebra, algebra, statistics, and calculus. Calculus, I cheated the entire time. I don't understand anything that happened. I was in danger of failing, and then I just cheated off my roommate. And then
Amazing.
And then my teacher was like, if you write a 15-page paper on Stephen Hawking's, I'll pass you. And I was like, okay. So then I just plagiarized a 15-page paper on Stephen Hawking's, and I was like, there you go.
And now you're at the Comedy Store.
And now I'm at the Comedy
ripping.
Store, and it doesn't matter that I fucking suck
Exactly.
at calculus because you don't need. I'm also like, we have calculators. Wake up.
Yeah. Everything I was struggling with, I've never used to this day. I mean, I probably should be, but I just knew I'd still be in school. And it was, I'm really dyslexic and ADHD.
Yeah.
So that shit just like.
Did your parents care that you dropped out?
I ran off to Miami and I was just like, look, if I don't make it or if I don't start making money, you can send me back to school. I go, give me some time. Let me try and do this.
And they let you?
Yeah. Yeah.
My parents, I was like, guys, I don't want to go to college. I just want to audition for the real world.
Oh, shut up.
And there's an audition this weekend in Santa Barbara, and that's what I'm doing. And my parents were like, you're not doing that.
Did you audition?
I didn't. But in my head, I was like, that's my way in, dude. I get
That's
on the
so
real
funny.
world. Because you know who's on the real Road Rules? Theo Vaughn
And Christina P, right?
and Christina Pazinski. Yeah.
Interesting. I just got asked about, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I just got asked about Summer House.
Oh, Summer House? To do it?
Yeah.
Are you going to do it?
Uh-uh.
Did Hannah Burner start on Summer House?
But what are your thoughts on like these, like all these reality shows in comedy?
I kind of just feel like it can just be a vehicle to something else.
Yeah.
I don't think
So she was on. So she was on it.
She was on Summer House. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, I don't know. I'm down for whatever. I don't think
Yeah,
I would
it's
do
like-
like The
yeah.
Bachelorette.
Yeah.
That seems weird to me.
Yeah, that'd be a little awkward.
That's awkward.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to give a guy a rose. Like, that's...
Or it's like, do you use that opportunity to go like rip comedy and like have fun?
That's
with
what
it?
I think. I think anything can be an opportunity because there's
Yeah.
just not one clear path anymore. It's not, you know.
That's what's so weird about our whole thing in our industry. It's like now nothing really matters. These actors are now on TV shows. This is now on reality. Everyone's just trying to get paid, and it's like it doesn't matter anymore.
It doesn't matter, and I think if you're your authentic self, then people will find you and connect with you. Like your audience will find you.
Exactly.
And so I would never say, oh, I would never do a reality show.
Yeah, it just kind of depends what it is.
I think I could get into, like, I can't really imagine being a housewife.
Fuck no.
Because they get drunk. I feel like they make you drink too.
They make you psychotic.
They make you psychotic. They're like,
make you lose your shit.
Did you know that she said this about you? Have some more.
Yeah.
Have some more champagne.
Yeah. Here's a little Xanax.
Here's a little Xanax.
They're all barred out and like drunk.
And like slurring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should do like a Real Housewives to like all comedy.
Comedians.
Yeah. Like the Real Housewives of comedy.
They should do that.
I'm into that one.
I'm into that one too.
But does that mean we have to get married? Don't you have to be a mom? How does the housewife...
Isn't that just a
it's
loose
just kind of like a term.
It's like, I'm a housewife.
Oh, I'm a housewife.
Yeah.
I'm in my 30s. Yeah.
I'm in my 30s.
I think that's what it's...
I think you just have to be in your 30s, and then guess what? You're considered a housewife. I'm
like
into
that.
the outfits.
Same.
Like, yes, I want an excuse to put on a gown.
Yeah, and like they'll be like, meet for a dinner on Thursday, and they're all just like decked, glam, like ball gown dresses.
Yeah, I don't deal well with catty women though.
No,
that part scares me.
I don't.
I'm like afraid of catty women. Like,
I think you're like me. You just don't you're not like trying to like hang with chicks all like.
Yeah, and I'm so used to hanging out with dudes from stand up that I don't even really. It's weird. And then when I hang out with a bunch of women, I'm like, this is fucking crazy, dude.
It's so funny you say that because I have to sometimes, I have to go to an event or these dinners and I'll sit down and it's like, these women are just, the shit that they talk about is so fucking boring.
I know. Yeah, no, I know.
Like, really? And I think that's why I love comedy and stand-up. It's like the stuff that like these like white women like think is like so crazy, or that you're like, shut the fuck up.
That's not that crazy.
Or
babe.
all they do is they just sit there and they just gossip all day, and like I find that so boring. It's like,
right,
do something better with your time.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Gossiping.
Thoughts on gossiping. Where do you land on that?
I feel like it's bad. I feel like it's bad to put bad things out.
I like that.
Because then you get that back.
Totally.
And then if you become someone that, I feel like there's always exceptions. Like if someone does something really fucked up to you and you're like, you're hurt by it, that's one thing.
Yes, of course.
If somebody fucks your boyfriend, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But if somebody just lives a different lifestyle, I don't really care. Like I don't need to get to the bottom of what's going on with someone else.
I could give two shits.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like wasting my energy talking about what you did on a Saturday night, like I got better shit to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. What about, okay, so how many times have you done mushrooms?
Oh, all the time. I can't count.
I love mushrooms too.
Are you a psychedelic chick? You said LSD.
Yeah, I've done LSD. Have you?
Yes.
How many times?
LSD I've only done...
I'm good on that one.
I've only done like maybe 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, I've done it like 10 times and I think I'm done.
Do you plateau? Like, do you get to a point where you're just like, okay, I've gotten what I needed from this drug?
Yeah. Well, because there's also this philosopher, Alan Watts. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, a psychedelic philosopher. And he's kind of just like, once you get the message, hang up the phone. Because I also have friends.
That's how I feel with some drugs. And you're just like, I got what I needed there.
I don't need to keep revisiting it. And I've had friends like actually lose their minds on LSD.
That's the scary thing. It's like sometimes you're like, okay, am I going to jump off a bridge? Or am I going to have a fun time?
I'm afraid of the long term of like being in a psychosis permanently.
Yeah, and I've met some like surfer dude back in my hometown who used to drop a lot of acid, and then like he just became that. And that's always been my fear with like my work. And like even sometimes like you're just like, shit, like I don't want to get too in. Like I was really into ketamine and like that helped me with my depression and like this and that. But like at a point I'm like, okay, I got what I needed from that.
Yeah, ketamine scares me. I have some friends that got really into ketamine.
Yeah. I mean, I was doing it with a doctor and like the
That's
safe
different.
way and like getting it.
I have also friends who do the IV from the doctor.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. And like, but then there came a point where I'm like, okay, like I got what I needed out of this. I'm better. But mushrooms is just like, that's just like I think that's just the answer to all of our
let
problems.
me understand the world better.
Yeah.
Let me see energy.
But it's funny, I go through phases where I do mushrooms and I hate it because it's trying to teach me something, or like, you're not doing this right, or like, I'll go through times like if I'm in a good place mentally, my trips are great. But if I'm like, I'm not doing what I need to be doing, I take mushrooms and I'm just like, fuck. Like, they really put me in, they like yell at me. They like put me in check.
Yeah, that's how I felt when I was doing them. Well, I love doing them outside.
Oh, you have to. And that's like, if anyone hasn't gotten into mushrooms and you're going to, put the phone away, go outside.
Go outside, yeah. Be in nature. Because it's so calming. I love like a Joshua Tree trip.
Love
That's
that.
one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I've been to Sedona. Have you been to Sedona?
No,
it's in Arizona.
Oh, no.
That's awesome.
That's
There's like
gorgeous.
these like natural like energy vortexes there. There's all kinds of like spiritual new age people there. And that is a really fun place to trip. But yeah, and also I smoke weed. I like smoking weed.
Okay, that's my next question. So I'm a huge stoner. It's like kind of an everyday thing for me. I stopped for 6 months for this movie, and because I wanted to just be sharp.
Yeah.
And then I got back into it.
Yeah.
And I just can't give it up.
Yeah.
And then this is my next question. Are you stoned on your sets?
No.
Like
sometimes it just depends on the situation. Like I do find that when I go on stage stoned, it can get weird.
Yes.
But I like to write high.
Same. Yes.
But sometimes I feel like there's like a disconnect. Like when I go on stage, I try to be very present. But if it's a late night set and the room's half full, sometimes I'll smoke weed before.
Yeah, I was ripping joints before shows. And I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Because then you have that minute where you're like, I'm so fucking stoned. I don't even know what I'm talking about. And there's
like a disconnect.
There's a total disconnect.
The worst that I've ever had was here. And it really fucked me up, dude. It
scarred you?
It scarred me. I think about it all the time. It was before weed was legal. I had a weed card.
Oh, sick.
I went to like Venice to like this doctor. He was just like doctor. He was just a man in like green scrubs.
Yeah.
Who
his name was probably Mr. Green.
Yeah, he was disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I have anxiety. I'm depressed. He's like, okay, here's your prescription. So then I had a medicinal license and I went to a dispensary and I bought some gummies.
Okay.
And I signed up for potluck here. And week after week here, I would sign up for potluck and I wouldn't get up.
Yeah, you wouldn't get it.
I wouldn't get it. So I was like, it's fine. I'll just have a gummy.
Yeah, I doubt I'm going to get on.
I got on. I got on and I had to do a 3-minute set for fucking some reason. 2 minutes of the 3-minute set, I spoke in a like country accent.
Fuck yes.
But I couldn't. I heard.
Are you sure it was just weed?
It was supposedly just
That's
weed.
So funny.
You know those people who have strokes and they wake up speaking another language?
Yeah.
I like went up there and was like, all right, like full on cowgirl.
I love this.
No, it was the worst experience.
Wait, so did you bomb or did you crush?
I bombed. And as I hear the words coming out, I'm like, that doesn't sound right. But like, I couldn't change how I was speaking.
Okay.
So for 2 minutes straight, I was speaking in like a country western accent. And then the host, who was my friend, Benji, he gets up on stage after and goes, that was really weird. She's a Valley girl. I don't understand why she was talking in a country accent. And calls it out. And then I didn't know what to do. I got into an Uber by myself and went to Swingers alone and ate a BLT. And then I told myself that I was never going to have an edible again before a set.
Ever.
It was so bad. It was so weird, dude.
It's weird. But it sucks because I feel I find my funny bone when I'm stoned.
But you can
And I'm kind of naturally always in a kind of a zened out, stony place. And it kind of fits into my whole thing. And, you know, sometimes like when I was high, I'd just kind of lean into it and like say like, I'm so like I'm ripped. And then like, the crowd kind of feels like they're
In
on
on
this
it.
journey with you.
Yeah.
But sometimes you're on that journey alone.
But I was on this journey alone and I only
Yeah.
had 3 minutes. So I kept
Yeah.
pressuring myself to
Oh,
like just find the like get to the point faster. And I just think
And
about
did you call it out at all?
No.
Were you like, hey, I'm stoned as fuck?
I don't think so.
No.
Because I was so unprepared to be going up too.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think it was gonna happen because it hadn't happened in weeks and weeks, and I kept signing up on Mondays and I never got up.
You never got, yeah.
So I was like, fuck it. I probably had 2 10-milligram gummies.
And I feel like when it was those kind of dispensaries, it was kind of more intense. There wasn't so
Yeah,
much
when it was-
coming in and out.
I'm like, is this really medicinal? I mean, because
Yeah.
it really sent me to the fucking moon, dude.
Yeah.
It was so humiliating and embarrassing. That moment lives in my brain rent free.
I love that. But you need those moments.
Yeah,
That's
you
what it's
need
all
those moments.
about.
And then one time, like one of my other really bad sets was I decided that I was going to do a character, but not tell anyone that I was going to do a character.
Okay.
And so I was like, oh, I'm this weird cat lady, but like I really committed, right?
Okay. Of course.
I came in a costume. I came in like a lipstick. Completely bombed. And then after the set, I tried to go back to my normal self, but everyone was just confused and thought that I was like this weird cat lady.
That's so funny.
And that was the last time I tried to do a character on stage.
Hey.
But
well,
I've
you
seen
never
people
know.
do
You never know.
characters that can pull it off. Like,
Yeah.
my friend Steven Randolph used to do a bunch of characters.
Oh, Martin.
Yeah, he did like a life coach. He did a priest. He did a lot of fun things.
Some people are great at it. I get a little nervous.
I'm just like, to me, it's 2 separate things.
Yeah. It really is. It's a totally different kind of show in itself.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know?
like, if I wanted to do theater, I could just do theater.
Yeah, exactly. And how long were you when you got into stand-up, you said you were doing acting class. So were you acting?
I've done like a few little acting jobs. I did some independent movie that was horrible.
We love those.
It was like something I found on Backstage.
Fuck yeah.
And I played like a heroin addict, and it was like
Ooh,
it was
I'm into this.
and I was in my 20s, and
Yeah.
it was a mess.
What was it called?
It was called This Tunnel South. The project was a mess.
This Tunnel South.
Everyone who worked on it,
I'm gonna need a visual.
it's so embarrassing. I don't even know.
Let's get one.
There you go. I was in this.
Drama action.
It's too much. Too many different themes. Why? Okay, are there any? And I
Is
had
that-
like,
no, that's not you.
I don't know why I'm not showing up in it, but yes, I'm definitely in that. I am the lead in that.
That's amazing.
It was horrible. It was an interesting experience. And then 2011. Yeah, so I did that.
There you are.
Where am I?
Oh wait, no, that's
That's
you.
not me. There I am.
Sarah. Meredith.
Yeah. I did a bunch of weird indie projects.
Okay.
And then I did Groundlings.
I did Groundlings, yeah.
Did you like it?
I dug it. I really liked it. But then like you kind of like it's kind of like drugs too. You got what you needed and like
I was like, okay, I'm done.
that's how
I was like, the space work thing was throwing me.
I
Because
didn't-
I was like, if I was on a real set, guess what? And I would have a jar. I can't pretend anymore.
Yeah,
It was
yeah, and no shame to Groundlings. I think it's great, but I don't know. It's definitely for a certain type of person. And my
Yes.
agent really pushed it on me at the time. They were like, "You got to do the Groundlings,"
Yeah, same.
and I was like, "Okay, like I'll do it."
I did Groundlings, and then I did a regular acting class, and then I've been really into stand-up, so I've kind of I do the occasional audition for different stuff like
Yeah.
pilots and commercials and stuff.
Of
but
course.
I, for the most part, am so locked into stand-up. And now, if I was gonna I write, so
Okay.
I see myself writing roles that I would be comfortable playing.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's what it's all about. And what I'm learning, I think, from years of auditioning and being in this business, it's like you got to create your own shit.
Yeah, it's true because
know?
people sometimes can't see you as something until you show them that you can do
Exactly. And I think even with me with comedy, it's like everyone has me in this box and no one really gets it yet.
it. Yeah.
And it's funny because I've been like losing followers because my following is based on just like hot,
Like Carl's Jr.
Carl's Jr. And now I'm just only posting like comedy stuff and podcast stuff, and my audience doesn't. They're like, "Where's her tits?" You know. So
Yeah.
you gotta kind of just create your own stuff, and then you'll get the right audience.
Yeah,
I think.
it's
Or they just won't show up at all. But
It's really true. If
Yeah.
you just create the stuff that you like making and you're authentic, then you'll find your audience for sure.
exactly.
Do you have siblings?
Yeah, I have a sister,
Older or younger?
older,
Okay.
and just polar opposite, like married,
Same.
kids.
My sister's younger and she's the opposite.
Okay.
She's like the more mature sister.
Yes. Oh, and she's younger.
She's younger. She's more mature. She knows what
Interesting.
CDs are, like the financial CDs.
I don't even know what that is.
She was
Yeah,
talking
like-
about CDs, and I was like, "Yeah, I love CDs."
Yeah, great.
I was like, "I used to have Alanis Morissette,
Yeah.
Jagged Little Pill," and she's like, "No, I'm talking about the finance type of CDs." And I was like,
of it.
"I don't even know what the fuck that means."
No
You know,
idea.
she's got like a 401k. We have different paths.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it is interesting. Do you want to have kids ever? Or no,
I don't think they're for me.
you don't.
I think maybe
I don't think they're for me.
I still haven't really pulled the trigger on that. I mean, I really don't want. I think for me, it's like, it's so heavy. It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's
And
a
like,
lot all
if
the
mom
time.
wants to go rip some MDMA on a Saturday night, like I gotta have my lifestyle free.
Yeah, I
I
get what you
can't be
mean.
worried about someone else at this time.
Have you ever been to a rave?
I love raves.
You
yeah,
do?
Yeah, I'm really into it.
Really?
Yeah, I love it.
Did you dress up?
No, I don't get like weird like that.
When
yeah.
I went to raves in my 20s, I haven't been to a rave in a long time. I
Let's
feel like
go.
at 37, you hang up your rave.
Oh shit. Okay.
You hang up your beads.
No, I'll like literally still go to like
Really? Did you
Yeah.
go to like Electric Daisy Carnival? Like what's
no. I think just like shows of like people like
like heavy drops?
yeah, like house music.
Okay.
I'm from Florida and I lived in Miami at a time, so like that was very.
Yeah.
But I enjoy getting a little,
saucy.
saucy.
Yeah.
But I don't drink alcohol.
You don't drink alcohol.
I don't booze.
You don't booze.
Yeah,
So you'll take Molly.
I love it.
Does ecstasy do people still take the
I do.
You do?
Yeah, I'm like the girl who still but it's so I probably shouldn't be saying this, but it's like such a drug you do in high school, and then
Yeah.
I like tried it like this maybe 2 years ago, and I was like, oh, I forgot about this. This is nice.
This is nice.
You may need that. May be what you're missing.
Ecstasy.
A little MDMA.
At
thrown
37, I
out.
get super into ecstasy.
It's kind of
Someone give me a
okay.
light show, man.
Yeah,
Like,
I'll give you one. I will.
well, yeah, no, I went to a couple raves in my 20s.
Okay.
I dressed up as the Energizer Bunny at one.
Cute.
That was crazy.
And were you partying?
I was partying.
Yeah.
I thought that I was in love with another man who was also dressed as a bunny.
Of course.
I started yelling bunny love.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah, yeah.
and at the time I'm like, is this my soulmate? And then
Yeah.
the next day I was like, I don't see myself with long term with an Asian accountant who dresses as a bunny on the weekends.
Yeah.
Like that's just not.
Threw you off.
Yeah, yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, that was just the drugs.
Yeah.
I thought
for
I was
sure.
in love with the PE teacher in London.
On drugs?
On drugs.
Yeah. Anytime on drugs, I'm in love with whoever's in front
yeah,
of me.
yeah,
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's what it's all about.
yeah. Rave.
But I'm into love drugs. Like I don't like anything. I'm not like
You're not taking PCP casually.
no. I'm all about like opening the heart chakra. If
yeah,
that's what
I
it's
like
called.
that. I do like that.
I totally made that up. I don't know what that
Well,
means.
I lived in Topanga for a while, so
Oh,
yeah. So,
I lived in Malibu.
Oh,
I
you
just moved out of Malibu.
oh really?
Yeah, I lived there for like 10 years.
It's stressful with the fires and the fucking.
Yeah.
I kept having to evacuate. My parents. I lived in Topanga, but my parents live in the valley, so I would just have to keep evacuating to their house. I'm like,
Yeah,
this
it's
isn't
not fun.
sustainable.
No, it's not fun. And the traffic, the fires, the lane closures, it's just too much
It
now.
is too much.
Where do you live now? Or maybe don't tell me.
I'll tell you when we're off.
Perfect.
Yeah. But in LA.
Okay.
But
I
yeah,
love it.
yeah. I loved Topanga. Have you spent much time there?
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's like if you could live there, it's the greatest place. But if you're like a comedian, like absolutely not.
I know. And there's
You have
like
to
my
kinda-
neighbors were like breath workers,
Of course, what else would they do?
sound healers. Like
Yeah.
everyone's like homeschooling their children with their
Yeah.
little garden and shit.
It's a little much.
It is
Like
a-
I'm into that stuff. But
I'm
to a
into
degree.
it. I'm into it too. But now that I've been out of Topanga for like a year, because I moved there during the pandemic, which I loved because I just got to be outside and like exploring and
Yeah, that's nice.
in nature, and it didn't matter because I didn't have to really worry about shows because there was no shows happening, and I just got to like chill and hike and be in nature. And then now that I've taken a pause from being in Topanga, when I go there, it is like it's almost like Portlandia-esque.
Yes.
Like some of the characters that you encounter.
They're all characters. I mean, that's where the fedoras are at.
That is.
It's
the
definitely
king of the
like
fedoras.
The Birkenstocks and the whole vibe. Yeah, it's a lot. And like the crystals, are they necessary? Do we need them?
I don't know, but I do have some. Do you have any?
No.
You're not a crystal bitch.
No, I mean, like, someone told me to buy this kind of crystal for some, like, I'll get into it, but then I don't know what to do. You stick them in your ass? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get it. At the lowest points of my life, I found myself buying crystals.
When I was at my absolute lowest, that's the only time I had a crystal. So I don't know what that means. Like, no. If you're losing so much faith in life,
that
you have to
need
buy
a rock.
crystal.
Yeah. I went to House of Intuition.
Okay.
It's like a store where they sell the crystals and sell the candles.
Of course.
And it was after a breakup. And
it's always after a breakup. It was after my breakup, and someone's like, you need this abundance.
Oh, yeah.
You need to, like,
the abundance one I heavily fuck with. I have an abundance candle. I do feel like an abundance candle does help.
Okay, I'm going to get one.
Get one. Get your abundance candle, dude. The abundance candle I do think helps. But, I mean, like, I went after a breakup and this lady was like, so what's going on? And I was like, I think this guy was my twin flame. And
and we always think that was my last thing. I was like, he was my twin flame. It's like, no, you've just been manipulated for 7 fucking years and he's a piece of shit. He's not your twin flame.
You know, you think that they're your twin flame. But then you get
all I'd be up at like midnight
reading about like, twin flames.
Your twin flame, You're meant to be, and you get brainwashed.
You get brainwashed.
Just like, fuck my twin flame.
Yeah, no, I know. I was like,
you had a twin flame moment.
I had a twin flame moment.
I didn't know what it was until TikTok.
You don't know what it is until you're at your lowest low. You find out this person who isn't committing might actually be your twin flame.
Always. It's always the person who doesn't like you is your twin flame.
Yeah.
Always.
And you're like, oh, it's just because we have such an intense connection. It's like too much for them.
Yeah, they can't handle it, but they'll come back around the universe and know that we are their twin flame.
Yeah.
It's such bullshit. But it
bullshit.
Got me, it really held me onto a relationship for way too long.
It got me to buy
it got you to buy
It got me to buy all kinds of shit. And this lady who was there is like, oh, it's a twin flame situation. Some random bitch who like probably identified as a witch. She had like crazy orange hair. She was like, you need rose petals, you need bay leaves, and I'm just like buying it. I spent $120 on I don't know what.
Yeah, and then it's like
it adds up fast.
You have to burn the candle that's green over the thing that, and then this is when I knew I was at my lowest. Was the moon would happen and you'd make moon water and you drink it.
I've done that.
Yeah, what's that about?
I've done okay, but I do this other thing that I do think actually is gonna sound kooky, but I do on the new moon, I write down everything I want to manifest and I burn it. And on the full moon, I write down everything I want to release and I burn it.
I'm into that.
Yes.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
I like that.
I haven't done it in a while, but I do think, and it might just be placebo effect, but when I was doing it, I do feel like my life was slightly better. Like maybe that's what's missing.
Where are we at the moon right now?
I don't know.
Where are
I'm out of sync with the moon.
Where are we?
I think it's full. Is it full?
Yeah, we need to figure out for tonight. We need to know what.
When does it go full? Soon. Friday the 14th.
Okay, let's go. What is it when it's full? You write what you want.
What you want to release.
Oh, what you want to release and burn it.
Yeah. So write down what you want to release and you burn it.
Okay, and drink the moon water just for fun.
And drink the moon water, yeah.
Look at us.
I haven't drank the moon water though. I put the glass in it and then I put it in my plants.
Oh.
Is that what's wrong? Should I start drinking it? I have heard that.
It's clearly not working. I just got railed in a car accident. No. But yeah, maybe try it. Let me know how it goes.
I will. I'll try it and let you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Well, that was our podcast. This one's called the Worm Moon. I don't like how they have.
Yeah, this is weird.
What does that even mean? What is a worm moon? Can you look up worm moon? That seems made up.
I'm not buying it.
The worm moon is the name given to the full moon in March and marks the beginning of spring. The name comes from the earthworms that reappear in the soil as the weather warms. What do you mean? I thought they were in the soil 24/7. They go away? Earthworms go away and then come back?
Huh. I've never even seen this.
Yeah. And sometimes, like, it's the strawberry moon. It's the blood moon.
Yeah, it's all bullshit.
People are throwing around the different types of moons.
It's all bullshit as I go home and manifest and light 16 candles.
Yeah. The eagle moon, the goose moon, the crow moon, the sugar moon, the wind strong moon, the sore eyes moon.
I want the death moon.
The worm moon is sounding like the least cool one.
The worm moon. Other names for the full moon: the crow moon, the goose moon, the sugar making moon.
Sugar making moon.
That's
I'm
crazy.
into that.
Yeah, death moon. Oh yeah, there's death. But the day is cut in two moon. Chase moon. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
We're done with the moons.
Yeah, that's a wrap on the moons.
And that'll do.
Sarah, this was so fun.
Yeah, so much fun.
I feel like I have a new girlfriend.
Yeah, we have to
For
hang
girls
out.
who don't like girls, I think we did pretty good.
Yeah, we did great.
We did good about this.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of us.
I am proud of us too. Where can people find you?
I don't know.
At
Instagram.
Instagram, what's your handle?
Instagram is just my name, Charlotte McKinney, and I got a podcast out with All Things Comedy and John Lovitz called
yeah.
What Do They Know?
Hell yeah. I saw you just did a pod with Dice.
Oh, the sickest.
He's the best.
Is he not the best?
He's the best.
The
He's
best.
so fucking funny.
So funny.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, so we're struggling to get views, so any views would be cool.
Go check out our podcast, guys.
Thank you,
Subscribe
guys. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. And I am this comes out when, Xavier?
This one
Next Wednesday.
Yeah, the 16th.
The 16th. Right now, the 19th.
Sorry.
19th. I'm in Austin, Texas right now. I'm going to be performing at the Mothership. Check my Instagram for show
sick.
dates. Yeah. And then the 27th, I'm coming to Phoenix. I'll be at the Desert Ridge Improv. And then the 28th and 29th, I will be in Chicago, the Comedy Bar. And then I'm coming to Nova Scotia, which I've never been to. April 11th through the 13th with Kim Congdon. We're doing a festival out there. And then I will be, and then I'll be at Brea. I will be in Oxnard, and I will be in San Diego in May, all with Kim Congdon. And patreon.com/Sara Weinshenk for bonus content. And we'll see you next week.
Wait, where can I see you next? In LA?
In LA, check on my Instagram because I call in my avails to the Comedy Store on Mondays.
Love it.
So I have a show this week, but this is going to come out after that. So, all right.
Later, guys.
Later. Bye.